A lot of the women in my Russian family were were professionals in fiber arts, embroidery, fashion design. When they escaped from Russia, they went to China, and those are the industries that they got involved in for work. And so when they immigrated to California, they picked up their professions in the San Francisco garment industry. So that's really where I grew up, in the San Francisco garment industry. And my babushka was a weaver later on in her life, and when she died, I got her loom. And I hadn't ever woven, but I'd seen her weave, and I thought, where am I going to learn to weave? So I did. I found a place. And eventually I found a teacher at a local junior college who studied under one of the Bauhaus masters after the Bauhaus was basically shut down by the Nazis, and all of the artists fled to different countries. One of them went to Switzerland, and she studied under him. So the kind of training I got was very structured European weaving. And because there was no other way to take a weaving class where I lived, I just took her junior college class over and over and over again for 10 or 12 years. And eventually I became her apprentice. So here I am at the Art Center teaching weaving. And it's really fun to bring people into this craft. It's, as we discussed earlier, it's not a very portable craft. You have these big instruments called looms, and it's a lot of work to set up a loom, to wind a warp, and to do what the students are doing here, putting the warp on the loom. So it involves a fair amount of work. And to become really proficient at weaving, I think like with any craft, it takes a while. And depending on your passion for it, it can take a long time, or you can learn it pretty quickly. Because I don't necessarily weave to make something. I really love the process of weaving. And sometimes the item is really secondary, the process, to my actual doing of it. But I do have a garment that I was given one time when I went to Russia to visit some family, and they live way in the Ural Mountain area. And it's a woman's dress, but it's way too small for me because the Udmurt people are very tiny. And it's a dress with a skirt. And it's hand-woven, hand-spun linen, hand-woven, and it's in kind of a blue and white and green and red plaid. A rather ordinary dress. It's not a fancy dress for traditional ceremonies. And I can't say it's my favorite thing that I have, but I really treasure that because it comes from a part of the world that my father and his family come from. And it connects me with that part of the world. I've visited there a couple of times, and that little dress is kind of special to me, I'd say, yes. Here at the Art Center, we've seen a lot more people come through the weaving program, and we're expanding it. But I think that's also in part because we're expanding our fiber department. We have spinning, and dyeing, and knitting, and felting, and we've hired another weaving teacher. So we really have many more things in fiber going on. And I think all of those things feed each other. In other words, if somebody comes and takes a felting class and they see the looms and they get interested in the looms, they take a weaving class. So I think that's one reason you're seeing a lot more students be interested in weaving. I've also seen more people get into weaving in other parts of the country. Is there a renaissance in weaving? I really have no idea. It seems like a lot more people are becoming involved with it.